Hi everyone, it is indeed that time again. We have a Tag Tuesday video with an actual tag today. I was tagged by the lovely Lauren Loves Color for the top 10 color by number books. And so thank you, Lauren, for thinking of me. She is also the one that started this tag, so definitely go check her out. I'm going to put her description down below. I'm going to mention briefly here at the beginning and then at the end again who I'm tagging because I've been scatterbrained these days and I tend to forget. So I have three people I'm going to tag for this one. It's Samantha Oswald, Ren Kelly, and Tammy Colors 2. Tammy's is a brand new channel. She's new here on YouTube, so definitely go check her out. Check all three of these lovely ladies. Check their channels out. Well, anyway, I was going to say check them out, and then that sounded a little weird. So go check their channels out. Go say hello if you haven't already subscribed. And I'll bring this back up again at the end of the video. It's been a rough week. I have started this video like 5 or 6 times. We're just going to roll with it. I feel like I sound like a dork and I'm babbling, but we're just going to keep going. Anyway. So, yes, I have plenty of color by number books. Yes, this was a challenge for me to pick my favorites. And now I'm going out of order. Y'all have already been spoiled. See? Spoilers. Already spoilers today. It's fine. It's fine. Like I said, I'm not restarting this video, so you get all of it this morning, hot mess or no. So yes, I have a ton of color by number books. While I like to color to be creative and try different things and do arty stuff, there's also a part of me that uses it for relaxation, anxiety reducing, when I just need time to pass because I'm really anxious and like I'm waiting on something, but I don't, if I just sit there, I'm just going to sit there in my head. So I need something to do to kind of sort of take my focus. So this is where color by number comes into play. But the cool thing is you can be creative with color by number 2. So 10 books, like I said, was a challenge. I also further challenged myself by only picking one book per artist. And that was a tough choice for a couple of these for sure. Color Questopia being one of them. This is number 10 for me. This is Flowers and Gardens, color by number. This has a black background to it. They do have white background versions, I think, of all their books. And then as they put out new ones, they're doing both white and black backgrounds. And then they're going back to some of their older books to do the black backgrounds. I personally love the black background version, so I feel like I just said that a lot of times in one sentence. But anyway, I love this one in particular, and this was a tough choice for me because I have a ton of Color Questopia books and I love them all for different reasons. But I think the reason, these were a couple finishes I had in previous months, and the funny thing is I haven't even went back to it, and boy oh boy does that light seem awful bright. There we go. That looks a little less shiny. There we go. I've done a couple pages in here already. What I love about this book is just the designs. I have, like I said, I have a lot of Color Questopia books, but just this in particular seems really comforting. Like the rolling hills, the flowers, just really pretty landscapes. I don't know, it's something about the art in this book in particular that I really love. It feels a little more freeform, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. But it's got some complexity to it too. So that is my pick for Color Questopia. Funny enough, I have not gotten back to this book recently because I've had a lot of other books I'm trying to work on, but I do love this book, and I love using like 2 markers to kind of do a little blending in this book. It just lends itself well to the subject matter. So That is number 10. Number 9, another flowery, landscapey type book. Floral design, color by number. The Probably the main reason I love this book was this was one of my best ever coloring book price finds. So normally Creative Haven color by number books are like around $9 or $10 US. Sometimes they'll have a sale where they drop it, like half off or something. I found this at Ollie's the very first summer I started coloring for $1. And there was not a thing wrong with it. This was all me. So this book has been well loved. This is part of my 10 books to finish. This is by Jessica Mazurkiewicz. For some reason, it's not on the cover. There's 45 images in here. You can see the finished ones here. Really nice, just kind of chill book. I've grown... If you sit here and just work in it constantly like I've been doing, you get to where, at least for me, I like to try different versions of these colors just because I get so tired of using the same greens all the time and stuff. But the drawings in the book are great. So, and the color combinations are really pretty too. So this is part of my 10 books to finish. You can still see I have a lot. You get a sneak peek at a few I've been working on this month. And then right now, I started all over the place, but now I've been working kind of front to back. So really pretty. You will use, the backgrounds aren't like super overwhelming. I feel like they use a moderate amount of marker, and on the Creative Haven paper, it doesn't soak up marker as much as like Amazon printed paper. So, but you could use crayons in the background. You could use anything you want, but the backgrounds might wreak a little havoc on your markers. So you might, if you're trying to conserve your markers, you might want to come up with an alternative for your backgrounds. So. There is Floral Design. As you can tell, it has just been very, very well loved over the years. Number 7 is this Mystery Colors magazine, Jungle Animals. This is the first one that I just said, that's it. I've got to have this. I have the Mystery Colors book by Joe Bartos, the first one that has, it's like a compilation of some of the magazines. But this was the first magazine I saw on somebody's page, and I was just like, that's it. I want to own this book. We have talked before about how much I love jungle landscapes and jungle animals. And this is the first magazine. I actually went to eBay to get it because it was already out of stores. This is another one that's part of my 10 books to finish. If you're not familiar with the Mystery Colors, they do like a mosaic type pattern, like a lot of the Disney books will do, and then as you color them, the image will form. So if you don't want to be spoiled, or if you want to be spoiled, all the answers are back here. I'm not going to show you the answers though. I'm going to show you a few of the pictures I've done though. Now, one downside to this one, and the reason why it's a little bit further down the list, the colors again are, there's not a huge variety in colors in this one. You're going to use a lot of black marker. You're going to use a lot of browns and a lot of greens. So, which makes sense. This is kind of a more, realistic coloring the animals kind of thing. So, it makes sense. I'm just telling you guys, just warning you guys. So there was my most recent one. And there's the sloth. Now, like I said, these aren't quite as colorful. This has got to be my favorite one in here. Big surprise. These aren't as colorful as some of their other books. I think I will like the dinosaurs one. There's some other ones of their other magazines they've published that I really want, but this one I know I love, and I've loved the animals in it and how the shading's done and everything. Oh, I gotta show y'all the snake. Love the snake. Like I said, I will probably love some of the other magazines. I might even love them better. This is all just as is right now today. But I haven't done the dinosaurs one because I am I am disciplining myself. What, Michelle, what are you even talking about? Like, I'm whacking myself here with a ruler or something going, no, bad, which I do anyway when I'm trying not to buy coloring books. Anyway, my point being, I think I'll love the dinosaurs one. I may even love it better, but I don't want to start on that one until I finish this one. So I'm trying to keep myself restrained. Man, I can't talk right. All this just sounds so weird when I'm saying, like, I lock myself in a cage or something away from my laptop or my coloring books. I'm trying to finish books before I start other books in certain color by number series. There. That's all I had to say. That's all I had to say. And then Michelle just had to make it weird. She just had to make it weird. Number 7. It wouldn't be my video if I didn't make it weird. Oh my gosh. So weird. So weird. Anyway, gotta make it weird. The Sun Life drawing book was a really tough choice. Really tough. I'm actually going to mention Little Fairies, the stained glass color by number, and then the Little Witches large print color by number were honorable mentions for Sun Life drawing for me. But I picked this one because it is like a mystery mosaic type book. And this was the first one I got really that had like all the little squares or hexagons or triangles. It had like all these little puzzles that you have to fill in to get the picture. And if you don't want to be spoiled, then, you know, again, gonna kind of warn you. Can't really show you much in here because you can't see what they're gonna be. But I love that. Actually, there's a place in the front, again, if you don't want to be spoiled, I'm not looking, that tells you what all the images are. I like to be surprised, especially in this book. This book was really the one that I really got into it, and I was trying different markers because I didn't want to use anything else, but they were bleeding and making a mess. But this is the first one I just really enjoyed not knowing what it is and trying to guess as I'm coloring it. So like in this one, we've got a phoenix. This is a goblin, but he totally looks like one of the gremlins. I don't know, it's just something about this one. I love the colors, how they're used. I love the fantasy characters. I love this one a lot. Now, this is another one I haven't touched in months. It's actually on my list to color in this month, so I'm hoping I can do another one. This really got me going on the whole quest coloring books. So like I have Color Quest, which I love. I have a whole bunch of mystery mosaic type books and everything. But this is the one that really got that started. And again, I just love the characters that are in here. And I think this is a this doesn't get a lot of attention for Sun Life drawing. And, but I love it. So, oh my gosh. You gotta make it weird, Michelle. Stop it, other Michelle. Stop it. We get it. We get it. You're weird. Number 6, Kira Scherschnagel was another tough one. I had 2 others I was going to pick, and then surprisingly my hand grabbed this one and my subconscious was more insistent that this one should be in here. This is not her most recent, I think she just released one, but one of her most recent color by colors. Again, not color by number, but Lauren allowed it. I'm allowing it. If it's a color by something, I feel like it's fine. This is Country Life. Now, I've seen she has like a spring and a summer one like this that look really nice, and I will eventually get. Again, this is the whole completing the books before I get more. Stained Glass Mandalas and the Tetris one were the 2 that I was fighting over. But this one actually won out at, what, number 6? Because just, it's the combination of her color choices and the actual scenes themselves. So, again, you get some sneak peeks for completed pages, but I did this one. I always save like the cover image for the end just because I want to do something different. I love this picture. I love it. I love the colors. I love the cute little animals like the little ducks and the goose and the dog and the cat. Like I love it. I love the art in this book very much. The summer and spring are also very pretty, but these are like actual country scenes, as thus the title, Michelle. And I just think they're adorable. I really, really want to see her do more of these. Like actual scene setups like this. I just think they're so cute. And she has male characters in this book and a couple pictures, which is super cool. Anyway, isn't that cute? Oh my gosh, I love it. I love it. I love it. I did one picture and I immediately wanted to go color another picture. And I had to discipline myself. I had to say, no, you have other books you need to color in. And that's what's hard, guys. Like, sometimes you just want to keep coloring in one book and ignore everything else. And I probably should allow myself to do that, but, you know. Anyway, so number 5. This is Enchanted World Color by Numbers. This is the UK version, as you can tell by the spelling. They have released this with the US version since I bought this. I bought this off Amazon a while back. It is by, hopefully Natalie is still the right pronunciation there, Ortega and Sarah Storino. It's an Arcturus publication. I have a couple of these that are similar, like Chartwell Press, Arcturus. I think they're all different publishers in like different regions or something. This book in particular I love, again, because it's fantasy characters, and it's kind of fantasy characters but also just beautiful type landscape pictures. I mean, these you kind of get a little more spoiled on. But like that castle right here, isn't that cool? If I can get it in focus. I also adore these types of books because they have the fold out legend, which is amazing. And I wish if I had one takeaway from Color by Number experience, I would ask, if possible, that any Color by Number publisher could create a fold out legend like this. Like, just please. Anyway, it's enchanting. It's a pretty book, y'all. It has like a really pretty introduction. So like there's one of the pages I've colored. This paper takes marker nicely. It's very it's got just a little tooth to it, but it doesn't feel like it just soaks. I mean, it takes the marker, a lot of the marker, but it doesn't feel like it just soaks it up. Yet another book I have not spent a lot of time in. That's kind of the case for all these, unless they're part of my 10 books to finish, which in retrospect, next year is going to be 5 books to finish, because I spend so much time in the 10 that I don't really have time for a lot of the other stuff. So next year it's going to be 5 at least. All right, number 4, Spectacular Spring Scenes, Color by Number by George Tufexis. Again, George Tufexis was a very difficult one for me. I love his cats book. He has a Christmas book. I have a picture in there I adore. Actually the biggest, it was either this one or Autumn Inspirations. The only reason I picked this one is I feel like it has a little more variety in color. And y'all know me, I love bright, vibrant color. Autumn Inspirations has a lot of bright, vibrant color, but a lot of it is autumn colors, reds and pinks and oranges and stuff like that. This one has a little more variety of bright colors, so this one scooted it out. But now this one, the legend on the front cover is not too bad, but I would still enjoy if it was folded out. If you're not familiar with George Tufexis, this is my towel tree. These are the colors I use, by the way, for those of you that haven't seen it. If you want to pause, those are my towel trees that I use. if you're not familiar with George Tufexis, this is like the, as I've referred to it, the Arnold Schwarzenegger, The Rock. Let's rephrase this, because The Rock is like he's younger. He like spends hours and hours working out. He is like he is the muscle man there. So let's rephrase it to The Rock. He is The Rock, Dwayne Johnson of Color by Number, which I'm sure is never I don't know the man personally, but I don't know too many people that get compared to Dwayne Johnson. So, meaning his Color by Number is very complex. It's very muscly, very detailed. It's got a lot going on. So I would not suggest this for the faint of heart. I don't even look at this as super, this, once I get into the picture, it's relaxing, but trying to pick a picture and stuff, like it can be a little intimidating, but I love it. And I actually did two in here this spring. We did this one, which was a contender for the bonus. I thought it was going to be this one because I just love it. You got a cat. I call this picture Forbidden Breakfast because that's exactly what I think of when I see it. And then I did another one in here. The towel trees were great. They do bleed a little bit, as any marker will, but if you're like me and you just like the speed and efficiency of markers, I will be using towel trees in my books from now on. So there's that one. Number 3, y'all are like, I haven't seen a cat book yet. Now, surprisingly, there are not a lot of cat color by number books out there, at least none that I have. So Such and Such Diva just about made me break my no-buy in May. Was it the end of May when this came out? He just about made me break it with this one. This was a immediate add to cart, but I stayed strong. It was first on my list when I did go buy finally in June, but was super excited. So this is my Such and Such Diva pick. Of course, again, cats. I love this book. It's not crazy detailed. The color palette's just a reasonable 21. I feel like the color palette should go left to right. That would be like my only critique in here, because it just feels a little weird that it goes in columns. But I mean, that's a minor thing. No big whoop. Reasonable color palette. I hadn't really been talking about the color palettes on all of them, have I? Yep, well, that's me for you. So I started in the back on this one just because I wanted to. And I did this one. So these are like, this is, I wouldn't say the exact opposite of George Tufexis, but these are not very simple, but they're simple images, as you can see. But you can do a lot with them. I did a little bit of shading around the edges on here. I added the white dots for snow. I changed the snowman from peach to like a light gray color, just because I didn't want to use peach there, but I used it for the snow at the top. So, and then this is the one I've done this month. I'm not sure if I'm done with it. A lot of times with his pictures, or his wife's book that I have, I'll color the picture and then I'll be like, I want to do something else to it, but sometimes I just sit and wait and see how it feels. I'm not sure if this is done or not, but if you do like using marker, this will soak up a lot of marker with these big spaces. So you might want to try some alternatives. I know Lauren and some others use crayon a lot. I'm starting to use crayon more. Oh, this is so cute. This is so cute. I should do this one for Christmas in July. They're just adorable. I really adore this book. Again, time just being the constraint here. And this came in the middle of the year, which completely, I'm like, this would have been part of my 10 books to finish had it been sooner. So number 2 is another cat book. This actually combines, this makes sense if you've been paying attention. If you've been paying attention, this makes sense. There'll be a quiz afterwards, so prepare yourselves. No, there won't be a quiz. I have mentioned how much I love the mystery mosaics, and we all know how much I love cats. And so Bell the family, in their infinite wisdom, decide to bring them together into this amazing little book. This is Mystery Mosaics Wow Cats, color by number. These are the 3x3 sections. So they have the palette on one side and then the image, which is ideal. Honestly, this would be for the best. If they had made him any bigger, it probably would have drove me crazy. So, but I play around a lot in this book, as y'all have seen. Like this first book page, and obviously you're going to be spoiled some. This first page, I just used Bic Intensity or whatever they're calling those markers now. I just used those and nothing else. And I tried to make it work with the palette. So you get a little more pink with their peach than you normally would. That one was a regular one. This one was a contender for the bonus as well because I don't know, I just love it. I love how it came together when I colored it. I love the colors, the orange and the green. I love these types of cats, even though I can't pronounce their name right now because I'm going to say it and sound stupid because then I'm like, I love these cats, but I can't say their name. I was thinking this one, I was playing around with some different markers. This one, some of them I color black all the way around and black out the legend. Some of them, not all of them. This one I went to pink here, so it looks like he just got done eating like his owner and he's still got stains around his mouth. And that one looks very concerned about him. Anyway, and then this one I completely abandoned the color palette halfway through and just created a zombie cat. So it's a lot of fun to play in. It's cats. They're adorable. I love the little squares, even though I have to have really good lighting. I think this one was the one I tried the towel trees in. And really like those for this as well. The bigger areas, you may want a bigger marker. But for the little small detail areas like right here and stuff, the towel trees work really well without a lot of bleeding if you prefer to use marker. And I don't do dots and cross stitch method. I am going to try it. But every time I get to one of these books, I just want to fill in the squares. I don't know. It eats at me. I'm like a completionist. It eats at me that there's still white space, I think. So anyway, love this book. Obvious why it's number 2. If you've been listening to me, you can understand why it's number 2. Probably surprised it's not number 1. And it would be if not for, and Velvet Family has a lot of different books, by the way, not just cats. I do have a Wow Animals one. They have is it Wow Africa? They have a ton of them. Again, I have the animal one. This is another one of those, I want to complete one book before I start another thing. Now, is that going to happen? Probably not, but I got to restrain myself some from buying them all and then just having them sit here collect dust till I can get to them. Finally, we are at number 1. I have 4 or 5 of the color counts by Mindware, and I got to tell you guys, I love these books. I love the color palette that they have. There's just something about the color palette and the art that's in these books that just makes for an amazing picture. Plus they're a little mosaic-y. I mean, you can still tell what they are, but they really just, as any of the pictures would do, come to life when you color them. This book's special to me, and I'm counting it as completed now, and I'll explain why I say now. But this book's special to me because when Annie passed away last year, which has been right at almost a year, I just, I checked out. I needed something to distract me, and I somehow adopted this book as I'm going to color all the images in the book. And I did. And so to this day, I mean, I love the images. The more I colored in this, the more I just kind of fell in love with the art style and the colors and stuff. And just, I picked up the fairy tales one. I hadn't touched one in a long time. Picked up the fairy tales one the other day, and I'm just right back, just enthralled with them. I don't know. It's just something about them. Now I'm going to show you the double page ones at the end. But how these work, they do provide a color palette. You can buy their colored pencils that will match this, but I have heard from others these pencils are just garbage. They're just garbage. Mind where you do great books, but you know, if you really do want to do some colored pencils and stuff, you might want to rethink that one. They have other ones. They have mystery mosaics, which I have none of yet. Again, trying to restrain myself a bit till I can get done with what I have. They also have the wild wonders, which I believe Tammy or somebody mentioned having one of these, and I really want some of these too. But then there's still a whole bunch of color count books that I want as well. So, all right, so there is a version where you have the numbers, which is awesome. And then you have a version, now the white doesn't have a number, which is also nice. Then you have a version that doesn't have numbers that you can fill in yourself. Now, my plan was this was going to be part of my 10 books to finish, and I was going to complete all of these images. Why don't I just show you the colored versions? I was going to complete all the non-colored by number versions in this book. Then it would be complete. No, not going to do it. I do think that's a little weird. If I had a gripe, if I didn't love the art and the colors so darn much, I would have a major gripe with half the book. Not really. I'm not in a big mood of picking color palettes for myself right now. Does that mean that will never change? No. Isn't he so cute, the little purple unicorn? But I wish there were other images, rather than this option. You still get, if you count the double-sided pages as, 2 different pages, you still get like 22 pages, which is pretty typical in a book for this price point. I love this one with the goddesses. It's so cool. But I gotta show you all the double page spread, which is even cooler once we get to it. And then we've got her. But no, this one, I mean, I love all the color count. You can see just the colors are gorgeous. I use the spree markers for all these books, and the spree markers match up really well to their colors, especially like their golden yellows and they're not quite yellow but kind of yellow colors. The spree markers match up really well. So here, and I love they have double page spreads. So here are the double page ones. I did take them out of the book just because it was a whole lot easier to move it around as I finished them. Isn't that gorgeous? And then we have, come here, we have this one, which at first I really didn't know what this picture was, and then I figured it out and I was like, oh, Atlantis, by the way, if some of y'all are wondering, because I didn't even realize it was underwater, and then after I realized that, I'm like, oh, hey, yeah, because there's a shark and a lobster and a fish. Here's the dragon one, which is adorable. Again, really nice yellows and golds for what's supposed to be the coins. Again, sprees just did really well with this one. And then probably one of my favorites in the book, you don't get a lot of male representation in coloring books. Usually it's just, and nothing wrong with just, women with nice tumbling hair or something. You don't get a lot of male representation. So I really appreciate this picture. I just thought this was super cool. So anyway, this showcases their art really well. It showcases that they make beautiful color choices when they're putting their color by numbers together. The marker set I have just married so well to what was needed. This paper is not like Amazon paper, doesn't super soak up the markers like that would. And this is also special to me just because it was a very hard time for me. This helped me survive. And I'm counting it as completed, though maybe one day I will go back and work on the other images, but I am going to count this as completed. So this is my second ever completed book. And let me do this, because if I don't, all these will go flying. So there is my top 10. Now, the bonus was quickly your favorite color by number picture. Oh my gosh, this one was so difficult. So difficult. But I picked out of Enchanted World Color by Numbers. I picked this one, which I did a while back. You probably saw it on Instagram. It is gorgeous. Just I am apparently really drawn to like purples and oranges and reds. Really warm, bright, really warm, vibrant colors. Not necessarily bright, but just vibrant colors. And this just has them all. I love the shading on the dress, that the wings are a little different and more pastel-y, and it's a beautiful image. And I struggled a lot with this one, but I just kept coming back to this one, that when it was done, this just catches my eye more than any of the others. So that is it. All right. Boy, this turned into a long video. Sorry, but again, you sign up for weirdness and you sign up for babbling when you when you sign up for this channel. I'm not saying that's good. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just stating the reality that is my life. So, thank you, Lauren, for tagging me. This was a lot of fun. Like I said, I am proud that I was actually able to just pick one per author for some of these that had multiples. And it was just a fun exercise. I really enjoyed it. I don't feel like I get to showcase my color by numbers as much. Most of the time, you just think of these as you color them and you go on, but that's not always the case. One of the honorable mentions was Fairy Magic by Color Questopia, which was really the first book that I started playing around with color, like this one. I picked different colors for the background and for some of the different parts of it because I just thought it looked better. And I added the white dots. And then I did the black gel. This was the first one I did the black gel pen over the white. This one I used inverse colors. I picked the inverse from the color wheel based on what... And this was so fun. And she got googly eyes and just... See, you can do so much with color by number. You don't just have to color it straight and call it a day. If you're still feeling a little creative, you know, there's all kinds of things you can do. So anyway, enough babbling. Again, I am tagging Samantha Oswald, Ren Kelly, and Tammy Colors too, but if you haven't been tagged and you have color by number books that you really want to talk about, and you know, if you haven't been tagged yet, it may be we don't even know you have a lot of color by number books. So please, I want to know, tell me about you. So if you haven't been tagged yet and this tag interests you, please do it. I'm always looking for new color by numbers to add to my list until I get done with the others. Yeah, so that's pretty much it this week. I'm recording this on Saturday, by the way. I think I mentioned that. Guys, this next week is going to be super busy. I've got a lot going on. I got a lot of appointments. I got health issues, which you will have heard about in my color and chat from Sunday. Yeah, so I'm from the future. Uh, it's just a lot going on this week, so I'm kind of recording videos ahead of time. There should be a new release. The newest George Tufexis color by number book, by the way, so this applies. The release was delayed. We were supposed to get it last week. Some people already got it, and I don't understand as a pre-order how the whole point of doing a pre-order is so that you get it on the day of release. So don't even get me started on that. But anyway, as soon as that book, Around the World, comes in, I will do a new release flip through. We might do a collection flip through. I don't know. Don't know what I'm doing next weekend yet. The fates will decide. So I hope everybody has a good rest of the week. I hope you enjoyed this video. Sorry for the length. Y'all know I get carried away. It's just who I am as a person. So take care and bye for now.